double down. Cool beans. Ready?
Yep.
Mic check 1 2. What is this? We are going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, what is good? Happy Thursday and happy Cinco de Mayo for those folks that's out there getting it. But nonetheless, Triangle Offense is back with another live stream, man, for Throwback Thursday. And we are back in the building. As always, the squad, the crew consists of your boys. You know me, Young Frost, and I can't do it without my team. You know who they be.
What's good, Josh? Your boy William Dollar. You know what it is, man. AKA
William.
Billy Paycheck.
William Dollar. I like it. I like it. I like it. And shout out to our boy Q, super producer extraordinaire. We wouldn't be
Sir.
going live if it wasn't for his expertise. Cause, buddy, I can't tell you, I ain't got the time to put in for that kind of work, man. But that's his field, that's his feng shui.
For real, man. Salute.
Salute. But nonetheless, man, we are back in the building, man, again with another fresh Throwback Thursday live edition here, and we got a special episode, man, here this week because we are honoring one of the greatest scorers we have ever seen in the history of the league, and now the 10th all-time points leader. We're gonna honor, man, that dude. Some know him as Melo, man, but we recognize him professionally as Carmelo Anthony,
Yep.
man. And dog, number 10 all-time scoring, bro. Like, this is crazy. Like, he was out the league, like, unofficially not too long ago, man. But get this dude his credit, man. The league wrote him off, and he found another opportunity, man. Took full advantage of it, man. What's your thoughts about young Melo, man?
Man, for real, I wish he went to Trailblazers before he went to OKC. And
Yeah.
you know what my feelings are, man. He's always been a beast. He's had
Mm-hmm.
ups and downs in his career, but who hasn't? Every player can be criticized about something, but to be top 10 all time scoring, bro, that just shows like the disrespect certain players got to deal with throughout their career just for whatever reason, man.
Mm-hmm.
Top 10, and he had a coach that hated him, George Carl. Top 10, he had a GM that hated him, Phil Jackson. Like, come on, bro. This shit is insane when you
Well,
think about
top 10 and played for a train wreck of a franchise, bro,
it,
in the
bro.
Knicks. Like, Jesus. Like, man, don't get me started. Like, and I'll be the first to admit, man, I haven't always been the biggest Melo fan just because of like, again, you know me, bro. I've been apologizing for the longest, man, for just not knowing the backstory about some of these guys, man, and just knowing that friction he had with George Karl, bro, like the coach hating him, like unofficially.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you still gotta play through that. It still be like the man of the franchise, knowing
Come
that's going down. But like, I hate it, man. For me, where I really like grew to like admire, man, admire Mellow, man, was the way he was ostracized out of New York, and then also the way that like OKC and Houston just did him dirty, bro. Like,
facts.
you mean it like I understand you got ball dominant guys. Like I'm gonna go back to the OKC situation before we give him his full flowers, you know, in New York and Denver and even now in Portland. The fact that they wanted this dude just to be a literally like a spot up shooter and like just that stretch four spot up shooter, bro, just goes to show like how whack some of these coaches are, man, with their schemes and just lacking ingenuity.
Real talk.
Yeah, man, like I hate it. I hated the way that they used him out there, man. I'm like, you mean to tell me? I understand you got Russ ball dominant. I understand you got PG semi ball dominant, but has known to been able to play off the ball. And all you could come up with one of the all time best offensive players is spot up four. That's trash. Oh man, look at that ankle
That
break.
was
Yeet.
nasty, bro. That was nasty. Whenever
Take a
somebody lay
seat.
all the way down, bro, it's
Mhm.
over. Like
Ah,
I wasn't gonna
oh
say
man.
nothing because you was in the middle of a sentence, but that was
Man,
crazy,
as soon
bro.
as you said it, I just saw your boy sitting back at the lazy boy, and I was like, "Ugh."
Bro,
I already know what it was, bro. I remember watching that play live. That was sick.
goodness gracious, man.
Oh man, like his mid range touch was ridiculous, bro. And
Facts.
that's what I hate. And see, like when it comes to Melo, bro, this is where you hear me all the time. I'm always on the record for hating analytics, bro. And I hate analytics because it downplays the effectiveness of a guy like Carmelo Anthony, man, and what he could possibly still do for a championship contender. Like I know it's not showing as well as we all would like in Portland, but I think that's more due to coaching style and also the deficiencies of that roster in general.
Yeah.
Um, I think if they had a couple more like dynamic guys instead of like one way specialists, that team will be ready to make some noise in the West. You got the three pieces, man, but it just goes to show like you gotta have the right kind of depth around these guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I got three-headed monster and he just ain't gonna get it done by itself, man. You need other guys out there that can defend and do other things. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm gonna try to stray away from things like his defense in this episode because this is Flowers episode. But just to
Sure, man.
go back to talk about when you started respecting him, man. When I got the utmost respect for Carmelo was that 2012 Olympics,
Mm-hmm.
bro. He was spazzing, dog. He
Got
went crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, man. That and then when I knew they was disrespecting him is when he was hoodie mellow, bro. I'm like, come on, man. This dude can
Man,
still hoop, dog. Y'all
yeah,
gotta stop the
so
bullshit. And I hate that with only certain players, and they always got. I mean, the league's predominantly black, so I'm not gonna do the black shit. But still, it seems like a certain player that won't fold into the new image the NBA wants to have. They just always get that stigma. You know what I mean?
no doubt, man. And
And
like
I
I know he's got a reputation for being the ball stopper on offense, but like let's be honest, when that was really the case as we're watching these highlights right now with him in New York, what other options did he really have? Stoudemire went down relatively quick after
facts.
they put that team together. Tyson Chandler was nowhere near as effective at that point, and they were
Nope.
doing a terrible job drafting. Hell, look at the
And
fact they brought in Porzingis, bro, and shipped him out shortly after they shipped Melo out because of cap problems.
it's insane, bro. And
Oh
then
my
don't not to
goodness.
mention that short stint where everybody's acting like Jeremy Lin was better than Carmelo, bro. It's like, why
Jesus.
is this a conversation? There's certain players that just this only happens to, man, and it's insane to me.
Oh yeah.
Especially like when you talked about a situation in Houston and OKC, it's almost like they were trying to make this nigga like, yo, you gotta be a bench player. You gotta just be there to fill in whatever need we need you to, you know what I mean, bring to the
Yeah.
team. And it's like, bro, that's not what I am, bro. Respect me for what I am. Like that
And that
shit's
and
crazy.
that's that garbage, bro. Like for me, like the two situations he landed in, he played for two coaches that I'm not very fond of in general, just because I feel that they are overhyped based on things that they did either A did in the past or B the scheme is cheese and it always gets exposed when the time comes for it. And obviously you got Billy Donovan, who was there when he was in OKC for that brief stint. I never really I knew how Billy Donovan was a great college coach when he was at Florida. He never impressed me on a professional level, period, and at all at OKC. Even when he took over for Scott Brooks, who they felt was coddling, the young quarter they had. I'm like, bro, you got to the finals with Scott Brooks. What did Billy Donovan do for you? Besides, eventually losing Kevin Durant and the rest of those guys. Like, what did he do for you?
Facts.
You know what I
Man.
mean? And and then don't get me started on Mike D'Antoni in Houston, bro. Like you want to talk about Melo not playing no defense, bro? Your whole scheme is not about playing defense. What are you talking about?
And you're still gonna like ship him out of there after what was that, 2 weeks, 12
Yeah,
games or some
bro.
bullshit. Like,
Oh,
come
and
on,
then
man.
the way that they did it, bro, they called this man in a hotel room. They couldn't even give him that news face to face, bro. I hate to say it, I'm glad Houston. I hated that they're in the state that they're right now for Steven Silas as a first year head coach, but I love watching that team implode finally because I'm like something's got to give, bro. The way that they've been running that team and all that stuff is just total trash, bro. Like they squander so many opportunities, man, just from giving into these systems and these schematics, bro. Like they really thought small ball was gonna change the world, only for them to get decimated by the Lakers in the bubble, bro. Like,
For real, man.
and I'm like,
Shit's
I mean,
crazy.
yeah, bro, just whack, man. And then it's like it took my man. to really like kind of like really be shut out the league for him to like, yeah, I don't even. People say he humbled himself. I'm like, nah, bro. He's still doing what he did. He might be, in a situation now in Portland where he is deferring more to Dame Lillard because that is Dame's team. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? But I also think at the same time, hell, if he couldn't accept that role playing alongside his boys down there in Houston and with the way that they did him, it only could get better for him in Portland, bro, because they clearly needed him. Like they needed to bring in a guy like a Melo's caliber, and he has
yeah.
something to prove still.
Real talk. And one thing I'll say, man, is people give him that narrative too of like he wasn't trying to adjust his play style, but at OKC, he's the only one that adjusted. He's the only one
Exactly.
whose numbers dipped crazy, bro. And then
Exactly.
they disrespect him. It's like he can't win for losing, bro. That shit is insane to me.
It's whack.
Same in Houston. You didn't even give him a chance to see what his role was on the team, bro. That shit was crazy.
Oh god, that Houston situation disgusted me. And that's where like I didn't like Mike D'Antoni and that whole system before that, bro. But that took it to a new level. I'm like, how do you have the audacity to throw shade at somebody not playing defense? Meanwhile, historically, your systems have never been about defense, like period. Even when you've had guys, like the Sean Marions or the Tyson Chandlers of the world that are great defenders, they were ineffective in your scheme, bro. Period.
Facts. And last little thing I got to say about his
Mhm.
Houston stint, that was probably like Dan Tony getting his vengeance or some type of shit. Like trying to like everybody used Melo as a scapegoat, bro. That shit is
Mhm.
crazy.
Heck yeah, bro. Like I thought about that too, because I'm like, yeah, I mean, Dan Tony was the coach there briefly when he was in New York, and that garbage didn't work. I'm like,
Facts.
I don't know, bro. Like I just look at it like people say what you want about him when he got to New York, bro. Like I just go back when you really look at the tail of the tape, bro. He played in some trash and unstable situations, bro. Like man, like
Still perform. I
it's
mean,
still went out and did his thing, bro. Like whether it's the offense stopping or not, but I mean, how can you argue with the results when you got him still drilling threes and hitting shots like that on people? You know what I'm saying? Look at his team; they still
exactly.
celebrating him.
Dog. And the only reason I'll halfway agree with that, he humbled himself with Portland. I feel like at a certain point in his career, he would never even consider Portland. Like it's not a big enough market.
Mhm. For sure, and I can understand that. I mean, and we all know like the secret. When the Miami was trying to put that team together, they wanted Melo initially versus Chris Bosh, but I can't blame Melo for wanting to make sure he was taken care of financially. I mean, at the end of the day, business is business. You know what I'm
Yeah, and you still a Hall of Famer, bro. You top 10 scoring all time, bro. Like
saying?
nobody can take that from you until somebody surpasses you. And who
Hmm.
knows if it stops here, bro? Like, come on, man. It's just sad to see that players of this caliber
Hmm.
continue to get disrespected, bro. But these owners can be trash all the time. Nothing,
God.
nobody says nothing. And these
Mhm.
coaches can be terrible. They can be coaching these players, but then secretly having these feelings about them, like, oh, they don't take direction well because they didn't grow up with fathers. What type of bullshit is that?
Trash, bro. That's
And you
that.
getting paid millions. Why you still got this dumbass mentality, bro? Leave all that shit at the door, but the players gotta be
Mhm.
perfect. These coaches can still be human with all their flaws and shit. Everybody else can be human with all their flaws, but let the
Mhm.
star player be human. That's the worst thing in the world.
Oh, without question, bro. I mean, we had that discussion, when, I was on the record for, apologizing to James Harden, bro. Like, just for, because I'm looking at that situation in Houston and I look at it from back when he first got there to up until now, man. It's just been total disarray, and I can't blame him for wanting to get the hell out of town, bro. Especially when they took out the guys that he, had built up with. You know what I mean? Like, he's in the prime of
Facts.
his career. You can't be mad at him for wanting to still contend for a title. You know what I'm saying? And then I just look, everybody want to knock Melo for not getting a ring. I'm like, bro, when did he have like outside of that one trip to the Western Conference Finals, that
Facts.
during that last run in Denver, when did he have a realistic shot at getting the title? The rosters that he had around him were I mean, outside of that one year where they were a 2 seed in New York, and again, we all knew my mind. Mike Woodson, D'Antoni, whoever was the coach during that stretch, that's not gonna get it done. I'm sorry. An aging Amari Stoudemire, overrated. In my opinion, not unmotivated. Tyson Chandler just got cashed out off of that Dallas title. It's not gonna get it done, bro. Not against the Heatles during that stretch. They ain't gonna get it done. Period.
At
So
all. And there's
it's
so
just,
many variables in
oh
pro
man.
sports, bro. But
Hmm.
regardless if he gets a ring or not, he's been a winner, bro. Like
For
the
sure,
Olympics.
bro.
Didn't he
I
win in
mean,
Syracuse?
and that's another thing that people do not give him enough credit for, bro. Like based off that 1 year at Syracuse, bro, he is by
Dog,
far one of the best college players we've ever seen. Call what you want, being a one and done or whatever you want, bro. He was magic that year. Not on Magic Johnson. That dude was just he was just amazing to watch during that freshman year at
come on,
Syracuse,
man.
bro. I mean, tore through the tournament, tore through. He's still the Big East during that stretch. You know how loaded the Big East was back then. You know what I mean? Playing Georgetown, Villanova,
Bro.
um, all those squads, Louisville, just tearing through those squads and getting and then going all the way for a natty. Come on, bro. Don't nah, man. Get that man his flowers, man. Put some respect on his name for
Super
sure, bro.
facts. I
But
just
go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna say, man, the disrespect he's had to deal with his whole career just don't sit well with me, man. It's
Yeah,
crazy. He's
yeah.
always been a baller, bro. That's
Always been
crazy.
no doubt. He's always been a hooper, man. Like I said, the one thing you might be able to knock him for, like I said, in my opinion, is stagnating the offense here and there. But other than that, again, I look at it like, well, what were the other options? Look at the coach, look at the talent around him, and please tell me what were the other options, especially after he left Denver. Those
Facts,
rosters were just not. You can gas up Jeremy Lin all you want to, bro. That dude was hot for one season, and it really for
bro.
a 16-game stretch, and that was it until people found out he didn't have a left hand.
Real talk, man.
Like,
It's crazy, man.
oh man, that just analytics. Oh, the mid-range shot is so inefficient now, and all this other garbage. Last time I checked, points is points, bro. I don't care where you score from. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you can do it as efficiently as this dude could. Like, he could get his shot off against anybody guarding him. During his prime.
Bro, monster dog. And everybody knows it. On the court, everybody else that got an opinion just seems like they're going to have the same opinion as the other haters. Like, come on, bro. But look at it from this angle. Say he did team up and at the Heat, get them rings.
Mhm.
He's still not going to get his respect because it's
Of
all
course
you
not.
teamed up. It's like, come on. Or, oh, LeBron carried you. It's going to be something
It's
like
always
that,
gonna be no doubt, man. I mean, he was damned if he do, damned if he didn't. You know what I
bro.
mean? Like I said, he had one legit shot, and they ran into a tough out. I think was it against the Lakers that they lost to
Yeah,
in
man.
the finals. So
Back
I'm
to
like,
back
yeah,
champs. I mean, on their way to being back to back. Oh man, it's crazy, bro.
yeah. So I'm like, you got one legit shot where you are unquestionably the man of the roster. You know what I mean? And I don't get it, bro. It infuriates me, man. The way that he gets like disrespected, and people and like it just goes back to that same argument I had a while back about how cats will like crap on Tracy McGrady or even that brief stint that Kobe had a roster devoid of talent. It just goes to show, bro, like no matter how gifted you are as a player, you know what I mean, like you're only going to go as far as that roster is built to go. That's period. You know what I mean? Even a guy as great as like a LeBron James can only carry a talent devoid roster so far.
That's
You know,
facts.
especially when you're going against buzzsaws of teams. You know what I'm saying? Like it's trash, bro. Look at that double team turn money.
And then
Like,
people when they hate, they like to bring up
mm,
that he doesn't the ring we talked about. Now they like to bring up he doesn't have an MVP, bro. But it's like
that was one of the most trashiest stats, man. But go ahead. I'm have my piece on that. But go ahead.
what are we doing, bro? Are you just looking for something to shit on the player for? Look who he's playing in the same. Look who he was drafted with and what he was still able to accomplish, bro. How
Hmm.
can't we just give that whole error you know what I mean? Whole era, they Flowers, bro, and see why we can see why he didn't get those MVPs or get one. The same way we can see why Kobe didn't get multiple. Like,
Mm-hmm.
come on, bro. Like, not every player has a dream career and is even favored by the people that vote on that shit to even be in the conversation, bro.
For sure, bro. I mean, every year somebody's gonna get disrespected, but I yeah, like you said, bro. Look at the guys at the competition. As far as the guys he's had to compete against for that, but I just found that to be a very trash stat in the reach. I'm like, celebrate the fact that the man, again, for a guy that was literally like blackballed out the league for a hot second, where nobody did want to take a gamble on him, and it took a team that was desperate for an upgrade on the wing to take, you know what I'm saying, to like put the bias aside and be like, hey, look, we need help. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can do it, if you can come in and do this X, Y, and Z for us, man, we will give you a legit shot, and the rest is history. My man, make cracks into the top 10 all time scorers, but it's just trash at the way that like he had to go about getting there, man. Wrote off by two teams who just wound up being ticket time bombs that were gonna explode at some point. You know what I mean? Like you just look at how the Rockets fell apart after the whole Chris Paul experiment failed, and then after the Westbrook experiment failed, and it's like shit, man. Like, was it really a Melo being in there and not giving you anything, or was it really you were doomed to begin with based on the scheme? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's trash, bro. But nah, man, I definitely want to get this dude his full respect, man. I mean, because again, it offensive talents like this just don't. They're not a dime a dozen, bro. You know what I mean? That could put on a show and that can literally three-level score, bro. Like this dude could beat you from anywhere on the court, outside the
Facts.
arc. One of the best mid-range shooters I've ever seen, bro. Like
Dog. Clutch.
clutch, can't hit the game winners. Pull over you from downtown, money. Look at that, man.
Bro. Post up. Everything, man.
Total
And
package.
then what more needs to be said than top 10 all time, bro? All the greatest scorers we've seen in this
Mm-hmm.
league in our lifetime, this guy is top
Mm-hmm.
10. Like, what are you talking? Hey, like, he passed
Right.
Hakeem Olajuwon. That's crazy.
Exactly. A guy that played for a very long time. And mind you, in Melo's case, everybody want to talk about the analytics. He did this primarily doing this right here, bro. Getting to the bucket and shooting middies. Because, I mean, he shot threes, but he didn't shoot them at the clip that they chucking him up nowadays. You know what I'm saying? God, look at that snatch. Money.
Handles, bro. Come on, man. Point of this episode is similar to the point of the AI throwback. Put
Mhm.
respect on these dudes' names, bro. They are
Facts.
goats, man. Whatever hate you have towards them, bro, how can't you respect what they've done, bro?
No,
I wish it
no
was a
doubt.
couple more Nuggets highlights because that's when he was really spazzing.
No doubt,
Man,
man. No doubt. But even then, like I found his game to be more entertaining during this time in New York because it hadn't evolved to this degree right here. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like he was cooking in Denver, but he wasn't cooking like this, bro. Like, come on, turn, bang.
Hey man, he been cooking since college, bro. High school. Matter of fact, high school, bro. Him and
Yeah,
LeBron's duels in high
yeah.
school,
You're
bro.
right when he was at
What
OU.
are we talking about? How can they disrespect this person, man? And then I don't get it, bro. It seems like it's unanimous hate for Carmelo, and then it's like 50-50 for Bron.
Oh, I might give it a little bit more. He might have a little bit more like a 60-40 for Bron, but you know.
Of love, hate, which one is higher for
I
Bron?
think I'm gonna say hate, bro. Just the amount of disrespect he gets is just like, and I'm not saying it's definitely not justified. Just like the hate that Melo gets ain't justified. Like the fact again, I'm gonna go back to that post, bro. That stat, for somebody to be like he's the only guy in the top 10 that hasn't won a championship or an MVP at least. I'm like, what are y'all talking about, bro? That's such a pointless stat to bring
Facts.
up. Like, oh. Infuriating, man. That's why I wanted to make sure we gave him his just due today, bro. Because I'm like, nah, bump that, bro. I'm not gonna let people go out there and try to tarnish that, just based on lack of success for certain things beyond his control. He did not go and sign on to play with a super team, even when he could have a chance to go sign with the Lakers before he went to Portland. He chose to go to a situation where he was better suited than needed instead of riding the coattails of another superstar. You know, you can't
Facts.
say that about Kevin Durant. Not to throw shade at KD, but we can't say that about KD. You know what I'm saying?
Or LeBron ain't riding no coattails, but he definitely ain't never been with getting it out the mud though. We can't say that.
No, I mean, if anything, LeBron's situations deteriorated over time. If anything, they didn't, like they just the teams deteriorated. Whether it's guys leaving, guys getting hurt, bad personnel decisions or whatever the case was. But that's really about it. And then he had to show how great he was just to get them to the finals. But Melo just man, I just
Man,
saw.
he had to play with bitch ass Joakim Noah, dog. Like enough said, bro. It's
I have to think of a couple more bums.
Nah, nigga. Joking no, always garbage. He can get some rebounds, bro. I don't got no respect for him just because Florida and O State's passed back in the day, and then him
Of
shitting
course.
on Cleveland for no fucking reason. I don't fuck with Joakim Noah, man.
I never did. I always thought he was overrated, bro. Again, he got like the fact that they even like had him in the conversation for defensive player of the year at some points, and we're like a fringe all star. I'm like, y'all better chill, bro. This dude is not that good. He got to the league, did his thing. He was a pest of a defender, but that jump shot, and that free throw shot of his alone disqualifies him from being considered a beast.
Real talk, man.
Not a subject for another day.
Facts. Last thing I want to say, man, just picture if like Derrick Rose was healthy and Melo was able to get to the Bulls, bro. I think they could have made some noise.
They definitely could have made some noise because that's exactly what that team needed was at least some guy so Rose didn't have to work as hard, man. That team was so devoid of offensive talent. Like we was
Dog,
talking about that. Like imagine if you had to upgrade Luol Deng to Carmelo Anthony.
dog,
That totally
and
changes that run that Miami had through the East during that stretch. Totally changes things.
facts, bro.
So,
And no injury to Rose, man, that would have been crazy. But it's all types of what ifs, man. But
no,
there ain't no what if about Carmelo making it to the top 10 all time scoring list, bro.
not at all. Did things his way, bro. Played in his hometown, shined in his hometown, Olympic champion, bro. Multiple time All Star, man, and is still again one of the best offensive forces we've ever seen. Period, man. One of the best ISO scorers we've
Super
ever
beast.
seen. Super
Super
beast,
beast.
man. Shout out to Hoodie Mello, man. I'm always gonna be able to vibe and respect Hoodie Mello, man.
Yeah. And he might have one of the dopest celebrations after he is banging them shots in them niggas' faces, bro.
Oh, look at that,
Three
man.
to the temple, that shit's hard.
That definitely is dope. Man, King of putting in work, man. Just work.
Oh, and he has some classic shoes. We always bring up shoes for him. He has a couple classic J's out there. Those fell under the radar after a while, but he had a few pairs that was
Mhm.
dope, man.
Yeah,
You
a few that
know,
piqued my interest for sure.
nobody gets no shine on Jordan. Yeah.
Heck no. Just go to 2K. I mean, heck, when they be giving out those free like Jordan prizes, it's every other shoe that are not Air Jordans. You can get
Fact.
Jumpmans, Mellows, when D Wave was there, you can get any of them other shoes, even the Zions for free, but you can't get no Air Jordans for free.
Man.
Crazy.
But he definitely had some PEs that were super fire, dog.
Show. Definitely did, man. Shout out to young Mello, bro.
Yes, sir. It's a pleasure
Peace.
watching him work, man.
No doubt. I think he's gonna be one of those guys, man. The game's gonna miss when it's all said and done, and he's no longer around, bro. People will be able to look back and respect him more, man.
Yeah.
Yes,
Couldn't
sir. But
agree more, man.
no doubt, bro. Shout out to Carmelo Anthony, man. One of the greatest to do it, man. One of the greatest offensive forces ever. So, but we are going to call it a wrap, man, on another perfect Throwback Thursday episode, man. I hope y'all was able to enjoy our ode to Carmelo. And shout out to him now making the top 10 all time points scored in a career, man. And I hope he's able to finish his career on a high note. And who knows, man? Anything's possible. Hopefully, he might have a realistic shot to get a ring before it's all over with.
Real talk.
Yes, sir. But this has been another Throwback Thursday episode with the Triangle Offense, man. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and we will holler at y'all next Tuesday with another current events episode as the NBA season gets into the final stretch and the play-in tournament looms. We will holler at y'all next week.
Yep. Peace.
Peace. Let's say we still streaming.
Oh, I was gonna say, I was gonna close it out and be like, yeah, y'all go watch Players Club because I'm in that movie. William Dollar, dollar
Hey,
bill,
dollar bill. Got change, nigga.
and then